If you want to get over your fear of roller coasters but don't know which coaster to start with, this is the video for you. Today I'll go over the best beginner roller coasters. But first, welcome to 808 Coaster Life. If you're new to this channel and you love roller coasters and other theme park related stuff, please consider subscribing. Every coaster enthusiast you see on YouTube was probably once scared of roller coasters, even me. Oddly enough, I was afraid of the track tilting. But by working my way up, I now enjoy riding some of the craziest coasters in America. A decent amount of people have asked me, hey, what's a good first coaster? Most large amusement parks have multiple lower thrill coasters for people who don't like coasters as much as, well, me for example. However, if you ride the wrong first coaster, you might not want to ride another one. Here's my attempt at recommending good beginner roller coasters. Of course, you guys exist in different locations, so I'll generalize things and give good examples so that it can apply to most locations. The true best beginner coasters are what is known as kiddie coasters. These are very small coasters, usually below 50 feet high and have a kid-friendly theme. Most kiddie coasters are great ways to introduce younger riders into roller coasters. However, the ones I recommend the most are a little more on the big side. We nerds call them Vekoma Junior coasters, and you can distinguish them by a simple track style and curvy seats. Famous examples include Chip 'n Dale's Gadget Coaster at Disneyland, Flight of the Hippogriff at Universal Studios Florida, Barnstormer at Walt Disney World Magic Kingdom, Roadrunner Express at Six Flags Magic Mountain, and Woodstock Express at Cedar Point. The two I've ridden are Buttersmooth. As a first kids coaster, you don't want there to be any sudden jolts or a rough ride. Some of the smaller kiddie coasters have a maximum height limit or require taller riders to ride with a child. I'm looking at you, Magic Flyer. The ones I mentioned don't have those limitations. These coasters may be on the taller side for kiddie coasters, but if these are the smallest coasters at Disney and Universal parks, that's probably for a reason. But don't get me wrong, any kiddie coaster should be a great first coaster. Logically, the next step up from kiddie coasters are family-oriented coasters. These coasters are designed for the whole family to enjoy. Most family coasters should be a great next step up from kiddie coasters. Here are the ones I recommend the most. If you can afford the hefty admission price, Disney coasters that don't go upside down are great intermediate coasters. Particularly, I'd recommend mine trains like Big Thunder Mountain Railroad and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Then move up to the larger ones like Matterhorn Bobsleds, Space Mountain, Slinky Dog Dash, or Cosmic Rewind. Looking outside of Disney, family launch coasters such as Manta at SeaWorld San Diego, Big Bear Mountain at Dollywood, and straddle coasters like Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure at Islands of Adventure, or Wavebreaker the Rescue Coaster at SeaWorld San Antonio are great ways to introduce you to launches. Those are long names. Spinning coasters are also very fun. Generally, the ones with a single car aren't as intense but might spin more. Wild Mice coasters are alright, but not the best since the flat turns could be jarring to some. They are the most popular type of family coaster. Some parks also have family inverted coasters, a great way to introduce people to riding under the track. But again, most family-oriented coasters should be great intermediate coasters. Now, as backed up by my little Instagram post I recently did, insert shameless plug here, most people were scared the most by going upside down on a roller coaster. The best coasters to get over this fear are, as you would guess, coasters that go upside down once. My recommendations include Incredicoaster at Disney California Adventure, My First Coaster to Go Upside Down, New Revolution at Six Flags Magic Mountain, Super Duper Looper at Hershey Park, and Cheetah Hunt at Busch Gardens Tampa. As for multiple inversions, I would recommend coasters made by Bolliger and Mabillard or Mock Rides. You can just Google manufacturer of insert name roller coaster and Google will tell you who made it. B&M coasters have a track style that looks like this, and their looping coasters, whether it be sit down, floorless, or inverted, are generally on the more graceful side, which is why I would recommend these for going upside down multiple times. There were also a decent amount of people that were scared of drops, airtime, and that feeling of getting lifted out of your seat. To get over this fear, I would recommend wooden coasters. While they may be on the shakier side, the drops and airtime moments are usually not steep or strong. The moments of airtime on most wooden coasters also don't last long. Gravity Group family wooden coasters, as us coaster nerds would like to call them, are the wooden coasters I'd recommend the most. They are usually pretty short in height, have tight turns, and have very cushiony looking trains with the lap bar coming from the side. Examples include Oscar's Wacky Taxi at Sesame Place, Kentucky Kentucky Flyer at Kentucky Kingdom, and Wooden Warrior at Quasi Amusement Park. Roller coasters made by Great Coasters International are also very enjoyable wooden coasters. These are known by their very twisted layouts and curved drops. Generally, the newer the wooden coaster, the smoother, but also more thrilling. If you don't want to go wooden to get over your airtime fear, the coaster I'd recommend the most is Icebreaker at SeaWorld Orlando if you can make it there. Some of the other coasters I've mentioned also could help you get over your airtime fear. At this point, you should be able to take on most thrilling roller coasters. What would be left? Taller coasters. Luckily for you, there's a coaster I've ridden over 200 feet and I think would be a good coaster for someone afraid of taller coasters. I'm referring to Goliath at Six Flags Magic Mountain, and you can also include its sibling, Titan at Six Flags Over Texas. These two may look intimidating off-ride, but because their drops are quite shallow and they don't have many moments of airtime, they aren't that scary. Of course, those are just two coasters, so for the rest of you, I'd recommend coasters again made by B&M. These hyper coasters focus on having graceful camelback hills as opposed to others that may be more intense and feature crazier elements. At this point, you should be able to confidently ride most coasters out there. It doesn't mean you're not allowed to be nervous on a big roller coaster anymore. Some rides still make me a little nervous before riding, but hopefully once you worked your way up, you shouldn't fear roller coasters anymore. But of course, I am only one opinion. So if you've gotten over your fear of roller coasters, let me know down in the comments what coaster helped you get over your fear. Maybe more examples will help other people get over their fear of roller coasters. If you want to learn about some of the confusing slang I may or may not use in this video, you can check out this video here. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to let me know by leaving a like on this video and maybe even subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.